Joe Flacco's QB competition. Will he be the starter for the Browns? The uncertain future of Joe Flacco in the QB race. In a recent press conference, Joe Flacco, the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, shared an interesting tidbit. His children were curious if he had been named the starting quarterback after he returned home from the off-season program in June. This question reflects a broader curiosity among fans and analysts alike about whether Flacco will secure the starting position. Currently, Flacco finds himself in a competitive environment, vying for the starting role against Kenny Pickett, third-round draft pick Dillon Gabriel, and fifth-round pick Shedeur Sanders. On the very first day of training camp, Flacco did not participate in the 11-on-11 drills, while his fellow quarterbacks took their turns on the field. Head coach Kevin Stefanski has indicated that the team will implement a rotation system, determining which quarterbacks will work during specific periods and with various team units. Flacco expressed that this approach complicates his ability to predict how the competition will unfold as the season approaches. "You know, it's tough to have expectations," Flacco remarked, as noted in the team's transcript. "I think there's been some communication among all the quarterbacks. So yeah, I guess I have a bit of an idea of what to expect for the upcoming week. But beyond that, it's hard for me to say what things will look like in 2 or 3 weeks from now." On Wednesday, Stefanski mentioned that the team hopes to make decisions regarding the quarterback situation sooner rather than later. Flacco concurred that this would be ideal. However, he acknowledged that it is ultimately beyond his control and not something he intends to focus on. But here's where it gets controversial. Will Flacco's experience be enough to secure him the starting role, or will the younger quarterbacks outshine him? As fans, what do you think? Should the team prioritize experience over potential? Share your thoughts in the comments. Dillon Gabriel impresses on day 1 of Browns 2025 camp. Dillon Gabriel immediately silenced doubters with a standout debut at Cleveland Browns 2025 training camp. But here's why his performance deserves more than a casual nod. On Wednesday, the rookie quarterback primarily ran with the second-team offense, taking snaps from center Luke Weipler while trailing behind starter Kenny Pickett during 11-on-11 drills. Critics might have questioned his size, yet Gabriel's exhibition was defined by 3 undeniable traits: unflappable composure, sharp timing, and needle-threading precision. Inside the pocket, he consistently created passing lanes under pressure by using subtle footwork rather than frantic scrambling. The skill that explains his collegiate dominance despite physical limitations. His trademark adaptability shone as he reset throwing angles mid-play, keeping his eyes locked downfield while moving. This signature maneuver generated several highlight-worthy moments, including a stunning weak-side rollout during 7-on-7s. Gabriel drifted right before lofting a perfect pass over cornerback Chigozie Anusium to receiver Luke Florea. But here's the controversial part. While some dismiss that throw as exploiting blown coverage, Gabriel's willingness to absorb contact while delivering the ball proves his mental toughness. His processing speed also defied rookie expectations. He cycled through progressions decisively without fixating on primary targets, displaying veteran-level awareness that coaches openly praised. Sure, he misfired twice, but nearly every other throw blended accuracy with ideal ball placement. This raises a thorny question. Are we underestimating Gabriel's readiness because of his draft status? His day 1 maturity suggests immediate viability in critical situations. As camp progresses, monitor whether he challenges Pickett sooner than anticipated. What's your take? Does Gabriel's poise translate to legitimate QB competition? Or is this preseason optimism? Sound off in the comments. Cleveland Browns keeping 4 QBs on the 53-man roster? Imagine a team with not 3, but 4 quarterbacks on their 53-man roster. It's a scenario that's not as far-fetched as you might think, at least according to Cleveland Browns general manager Andrew Berry. In a surprising revelation, Berry stated that the team is open to keeping all 4 healthy quarterbacks competing for the starter spot on the roster, a move that could potentially shake up the dynamics of the team. But here's where it gets interesting. The Browns are currently conducting a quarterback competition that includes veterans Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, as well as rookies Dillon, Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. The question on everyone's mind is, can they really make it work with 4 quarterbacks on the roster? Barry seems to think so, citing the team's approach to the last 5 spots on the roster as developmental spots that can come from any position. He also pointed out that with the current roster flexibility and the ability to elevate players from the practice squad, the team has more options than ever before when it comes to building their 48-man game day roster. And this is the part most people miss. The fact that the team is willing to think outside the box and challenge traditional roster norms. As Barry put it, if there are 4 that are 53-man worthy and we think it makes the most sense for us to keep, then we will. The quarterback competition is already heating up, with Pickett taking all the first-team offense reps during 11-on-11 drills, a first day of training camp, while Gabriel ran the second-team offense and Sanders led the third-team offense. However, the rotation changed on the second day, with Flacco splitting first-team reps with Pickett. The team's coach, Kevin Stefanski, has stated that the quarterback rotation will be fluid during the first week of practice before a reassessment of the order for week 2. But what about the elephant in the room, Deshaun Watson's injury? The quarterback is currently on the physically unable to perform list as he rehabs a right Achilles tendon injury that's expected to sideline him for most of the 2025 NFL season. When asked for an update on Watson's status, Barry said the team is dealing with his recovery on a day-to-day basis. Meanwhile, the team has also addressed Sanders' 2 off-season speeding tickets, with Barry stating that it was not smart and that the player understands the implications and consequences. So what do you think? Can the Browns really make it work with 4 quarterbacks on the roster? Is this a bold move that will pay off or a recipe for disaster? Let us know in the comments. One thing's for sure, this is a story that will continue to unfold in the coming weeks, and we can't wait to see what happens next. But here's a thought-provoking question. What if this becomes a trend in the NFL? Could we see more teams adopting this approach in the future? The possibilities are endless, and it's exciting to think about the potential implications. As the great debate continues, one thing is certain. The Cleveland Browns are a team to watch in the 2025 NFL season.